William Mcguigan wonders if we can get a message from his daughter, Margaret Mcguigan. Margaret's in the spirit world now, and she would be 4 now. So, of course, I'm in the spirit world. It's a bit different, isn't it? Because we're sort of stuck in this sort of three-dimensional time-filled world, whereas she's in a sort of a more, I suppose, time-free, if you think of it that way. Anyway, let's ask Margaret to join us. We're going to do a setting, and we'll ask Margaret to join us and see what she's got to say to William there and everybody. We'll ask us ask her that. So, what I'm going to do there is use these mediumship cards here. Each card has a pre-written message on it. A sentence, I suppose. And as we shuffle the cards, yes, we shuffle them naturally, but Margaret's spirit will manipulate them in the sense of the messages on each card. Of course, each card will be shuffled and moved around, and Margaret's spirit will help put each card in position in like a combination. So when we cut the deck, that's where Margaret's energy will be at its strongest. And then we can see what Margaret has to say, in the sense of what message Margaret's energy has left behind. So, with no further ado, we'll get the cards here, and as we shuffle them, we'll just ask for Margaret to join us. Spirit of Margaret Mcguigan, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Margaret Mcguigan, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Margaret Mcguigan, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Margaret Mcguigan, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Margaret Mcguigan, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Margaret Mcguigan, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Margaret Mcguigan and all absent friends. And we just cut the deck there. We place the top part underneath. What is that, the underneath on top? I don't know. That's for you to work out. Give you something to think about for the rest of your life there. But laughing and joking apart, we'll just place the cards now just to the side over here. And first of all, now Margaret's energy is here with us in this setting, I'd like to welcome you, Margaret, to our setting. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy. And I want to thank you for your love for sharing the message with William. And also, I suppose, with the rest of us who are watching right now, who are privileged, I suppose, to be with you there, Margaret. Anyway, let's see what's going on. I normally deal out 3 cards initially. I say initially because it's a bit like beginning, middle and end of message, isn't it? If we feel any other cards want to come out, or we feel I feel just another card might want to come out, or whatever, then we'll do that. If not, then we'll just leave it at 3. It doesn't matter, does it? But initially we do 3 at minimum, as you could say. Let's just see what the first card is, in the sense of the first thing that Margaret wants to say. So what we'll do, we'll get this first card and we'll just flip it nice and slowly. Not to disturb its energy or anything like that, just nice and steadily there, out of respect for Spirit. Out of respect for Margaret. And that is the first card, the first thing that Margaret wants to say. And it just says, I am so much better now. I am so much better now. That's what you're saying, isn't it, Margaret? I take it then, it doesn't take a rocket scientist really to work out that you weren't feeling too well when you were here on the physical plane. But Margaret just wants to tell you there that she's feeling much better, and that's a good thing, isn't it? Because it's a terrible thing when we're suffering, when we're not very well, isn't it? When we're a bit poorly and we're not feeling too good. Tell me about it. I want to pull the next card to see what the next thing is that Margaret wants to say, I suppose in addition to. But it's part of the same thing, it's part of the statement, isn't it? I'm so much better now there, I just want you to know that I'm so much better now. And I want you to just flip the next one again, nice and slowly, and this'll be probably this. It looks like an interesting card, doesn't it? An interesting energy that Margaret's picked for us. She's just saying there, Dad, although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. I'm feeling much better now. And although you don't understand it, you may question why did it happen. Although you don't understand it now, everything happens for a reason. This has happened to me, it's happened to you, it's happened to all of us, both of us, all of us. It's happened to all of us for a reason. Maybe, I mean, I don't know, I'm just guessing now, Margaret. I'm just trying to guess that maybe learn about love or something, or learn to appreciate what little time we have. In the sense of, I get a sense that she's saying, Dad, I just want you to know that it wasn't the quantity of life that was important. It wasn't the amount of time that I was here that was important. It was the quality. It wasn't the quantity of life that was important. It was the quality of life, and the quality that you gave me and the love that you gave me was far more than some people give their children for a lifetime. And although you may not understand it now, you'll get it later on. I sort of get that's the sort of thing she's trying to point at, or point you toward, that sort of, although you don't get it now, it'll come to you. It all happens for a reason. For this short amount of time that I was there with you, and for a large amount of love that you gave me, happened for a reason. To think I could have been born and passed on without being loved but I was loved, and I want to thank you for that. That's what she's sort of saying. I want to thank you for that, and although you don't understand why all this has happened, I'm feeling better now. Feeling much better now. And I'm feeling much better now I've told you. That's what she's saying, as if she's getting it off her chest, really, in some regard. I mean, tell me about it. I mean, I have non-human friends, and sometimes they go and you think, they've had no life. But at least they went with somebody giving a damn about them. And that's what I got Margaret saying here. At least when I did pass over, somebody gave a damn about me. That's the sort of thing I think she's sort of trying to say there. I'm going to pull out the next card here, and to see what like the third thing is. If anything, I do sort of sense maybe some more cards want to come out, or Margaret wants some more cards, don't you, Margaret? But let's just see what this third thing is that's coming out here. Let's just flip that there, and we'll just see what that one is. That looks a bit... let's have a look at that one. Let's just see what that is. She's just saying, don't be afraid. I know that... I suppose the waters can appear a bit choppy at times, can't they? Is that the right terminology? A bit choppy at times. I know the waters, the troubled waters, as if she's pointing toward like the troubled waters. She's saying, I know the troubled waters can appear a bit choppy at times, and you've hit the rocks and you don't know what to do. But don't be afraid, because although you don't understand it now, everything happens for a reason. Don't be afraid of what's to come. Don't be afraid of maybe... Don't be afraid for the others. That's what she's saying. I get as though she's saying, don't be afraid for the others. Don't be afraid for the others. Yes, it happened to me, something happened to me, and I was called home. But don't be afraid for the others. I know the waters are troubled for you at the moment, and I know you've hit the rocks in that sense, and I know it does, even 4 years down the line. But I want you to know that I'm feeling okay. That I'm so much better now. Now that I'm in the Summerlands, in the pure light of love. Not just love in heaven, but in the heavenly sort of sense, or the Empyrean, or the dwelling place of God, whatever you want to call it there. But I also dwell in your love. The fact that you still love me, even though I'm not there physically, you still love me. And although I don't want you to be afraid for the others. I know it's easy to worry about what happens to them when they leave the house, or when you go out, but don't. At this point is where we've done the three, the initial three. I sort of got the number 2. I don't know why. Or at least number 2, as if 2 more cards. Margaret wants 2 more, or 2 more things Margaret wants to say, isn't the Margaret? Or aren't the Margaret? Best grammar. Best use proper grammar, isn't it? Let's just see what Margaret, what else Margaret wants to add to this. I don't know if this is something important that she'd want to add it to, if it's just something a bit extra. There, she's just, as she said, I feel much better now. She's adding there, my mind is free. Don't be afraid. Although you don't understand it now, everything happens for a reason. There's no such thing as coincidence or anything like that. But I just want you to realise. I just want you to know then that my mind is free. I'm okay about it. I'm much better now. I understand, and that's why I'm telling you that you might not understand it now, but it works together for a reason. I know, because I'm in I suppose a better place, in an all-knowing place, in an all-wise place. I'm in the same place as you, except you are in the physical, and the other part of you. Well, I just want you to know my mind is free. I'm content where I am. I'm content with the love that you gave me. I'm not angry at you for anything. I've gone through the door to the other side, as you would say. I've gone through the door to the other side, and it's a wide open space. But like how the sky is all wide open, isn't it? And I've gone through that door, and the sky's the limit, literally, really. This is the second card. I'm going to pull out the second card. I feel as though it's linked to this one here. My mind is free. I'm content now. I've got this funny feeling as though she's content now she's told you as well, as if it's a very present tense sort of statement that she's making, in the sense that she's content. Her mind is now free. I'm glad I've got it off my chest. That sort of thing, you know. Oh look, as we were saying about time, and she was in a timeless place, and not to sort of worry. I think did we mention about that? I don't know. But she's just saying now, look, that she's just saying, Dad, I just want you to know that there is no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. My mind is free. Time is only on the earth. So you say I'm 4. You say that I'm 4. But that's only 4 years since I entered the physical world. I don't know how long it is since she entered the spirit world, but either way, she's just saying that's only a figure. That's only, time is only on the earth. And you say, I know you say she was only 4, or she would have been 4, or whatever now, and what we'd be doing now, and if only she'd have lived or whatever. And I know it's hard, because yes, I have non-human friends, and as I've said before, he cuts you up even with non-human friends when they go just so young, and you think they've had no life, and it cuts you up. But time is a thing that we experience in the 3-dimensional physical world. It is a thing, isn't it? Like material, like that card is a thing, and space surrounds that card. The thing called space surrounds the material thing called a card, and then within that time it's within time, isn't it? And you have to think of time as an actual thing, like a card or space around the card, and it's a similar sort of thing. But what Margaret's saying here is trying to convey, whatever, I think the point you're trying to make there, Margaret, is there's no time where you are, so you don't have to worry about things. And even when you say, well, she was only however old she was, that only refers to how old she was on the earth. In an eternal sort of omnipresent an omnipresent sort of timeless dimension, it doesn't matter. Time doesn't matter anymore. And she's alive, very much alive, aren't you, Margaret? Now I said two, and I said about 2 cards, but I sort of like seeing a phantom hand say, pick that one there. Go on, take it off that pile there. I don't know if it's just me, you know how it is, don't you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, I suppose you could say 1 for luck, isn't it, Margaret? Yeah, Margaret, I want to know what you want to say here. You're sort of sneaking me to try and pull this card off here. It's just either that or it's just temptation with me there. And it's just saying, that's look what that card says there. I am not dead. Oh, so that really is, Margaret. I think the joke is on me again, isn't it? It seems as though the spirit world likes to take the wee out of me, and it's done it again. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you for. She's got a sense of humour, hasn't she, William? She's got a sense of humour. I am not dead. I've just said that, Margaret. Hello? Anybody there? I think that sort of says it all, doesn't it, really, William? She's got a sense of humour where she is, anyway. I just sense a smile, like not so much a smile, but more of a grin, a cheeky grin. There, I sort of get there. So he looks as though, I think that says it all. That's probably why we just had to pull the extra card. She was just saying, come on then, try me. And it's there, isn't it? Anyway, Margaret, great to know you, at least you've got a sense of humour. And maybe that, in some way, a cheeky grin, a cheeky sense of humour, let's face it. Well, what's wrong in being cheeky? There's no harm in that. There's no guilt, or it's an innocent sort of thing, isn't it? And if you can't laugh at yourself, then who else can you laugh at? So thanks for teaching me to laugh at myself, Margaret. Even though it was a joke from you at my expense. But laughing and joking apart, it was pleased to meet you, and nice. You've got a very nice energy anyway. You've got a very nice energy. You do feel as if you are, it does feel as though you are contented. As you've said, you're much better now, and although we don't understand it now, things do happen for a reason, don't they? Okay, your mind is free. You're happy, content, just to let you dad know that time is time is only on the earth, so it's not a thing. You're in a timeless dimension, literally. So it doesn't matter about maybe we all say, oh, she was so young, and we do say that. Even I say it about my non-human friends, and I lose them there, Margaret. I tend to say, they were so young, they've had no life, and it was just so sad. But at the end of the day, if they're in a timeless dimension waiting for me, we'll meet again anyway. And that alone proves that we're not dead, doesn't it? And you're not dead, are you, Margaret? Nobody ever dies. And with that, I want to close the setting now. I want to thank you, Margaret, for that reassurance, because that's helped me a bit, really. And I know that sounds a bit but thank you for sharing that, Margaret. What we're going to do is get your cards there. I'm just going to now rotate them in the pile there, and we'll just rotate we'll just place it neatly here. Just pop it there nice and neatly. And then we're going to get the rest of the duck. And I just want to say, love is the law. Love is the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we part. And merry may we meet again. Blessed be to Margaret Mcguigan and all absent friends. And I'll just place, we just place the rest of the duck on top of Margaret's cards. Goodbye, Margaret. Until next time, rest in peace. And we just close our eyes and imagine in that door where the mind, when she said about my mind being free, about she said about her mind being free, about being content, that portal. Imagine there's like a door open, and a light shining through that door, and as the door closes into that hole, as you would say, just imagine, visualise, or however you want to put it. Imagine the door closing, and as it closes, the light gradually goes out nice and slowly. It gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until now the door is closed completely and it's out. The light is out. The light is no longer shining, and you're just left at the door. And then we can open our eyes again and return back to this cruel, harsh world that we must draw our breath in pain to tell our own story until we all meet again. Once again, blessed be to all absent friends.